Hey guys, it's Katie. Doing today is a book haul for September. I did get a lot of books, so I'm going to make this really quick. I did get books from my work, ARCs and books I bought, and then I got books from my thrift store, my half price books, which is called Book Off, and then a book outlet order I received. So let's get started. So I'm going to do my book outlet first. I've already unboxed it. I'm sorry. I just couldn't wait. So the first book I'm going to show you is Lynsay Sands, Immortal Unchained. This is part of her vampire series. I've been reading this series for a long time. I really enjoy it, and I can't wait to get to this one. The next book I have is Matters of the Blood by Maria Lima. All the books pretty much in my book outlet order are all paranormal romance because I'm getting back into that genre and I'm trying to find a bunch of new authors. So I've been trying to get the first in a lot of series. So then, except for Lynsay Sands, and there's another one in this order by Sherilyn Kenyon that I'm collecting all their books because I've been reading their series for quite some time. If you do hear some noise like that, it's my puppy. He has the cone of shame, and I'm trying to keep him from knocking down stacks. So yes. So Matter of the Blood by Maria Lima. So I might not know what all the books I have are about. I just know a bunch of them are paranormal romance, so it's either vampire, werewolves, fairy, of that sort. Gizmo, sit. So the next book I have is a group of short stories. It is it's My Big Fat Supernatural Wedding. And it has Sherilyn Kenyon, Charlene Harris, Jim Butcher, and more. And I'm getting the short stories because I've been doing a lot of research, and a lot of the series that I do read, they have like little novellas that are part of the main stories, but they're usually sold in the collections. They don't have like their own one book. So I've been trying to collect these to continue reading on the stories. And I got this one mainly for Sherilyn Kenyon, but they have a bunch of other authors that I'm really interested in reading. Oh yeah, this is Gizmo. This is his cone of shame. You met him in my other video, but he's back for this one. And then my next book I got in Book Outlet is Ilona Andrews, which is the first book, Magic Bites. I was expecting this to be in mass market paperback because I found more for other books and I've never seen the trade size of it at my work. So I was quite happy to find that they gave me the trade, even though it doesn't match my mass market, but that's fine with me. The next book I got on my book outlet order is Deja Who by Marie Janice Davidson. I haven't heard of this author, but I was going through all of Book Outlet's paranormal books that I could find, and this one sounded really interesting. I think it's about a clairvoyant, and she doesn't know, or she just starts seeing things, and it just sounded really interesting. Once again, guys, I'm sorry I don't know the synopsis of all the books, but they did sound interesting when I found them. So I'll probably try and leave a link to Book Outlet in my video. I know I forgot to leave the link to my Instagram last time, so I'll try and do that this time. I was just trying to get the video going and I was having issues, so I'm sorry. The next book I got from Book Outlet was Of Beast and Beauty by Stacey J. I was reading this, and I've seen a bunch of her other books in stores. I haven't seen this one in stores. I just know that this is a Beauty and the Beast retelling. I tend to really like those retellings, that and Alice in Wonderland. They don't seem to get old to me. The only one that I can't seem to keep continuing on with is the Cinderella retelling. Those ones tend to bore me. But yeah, I found this one. I thought it sounded really good. The next book I got is The Wicked Deep by Shay Earnshaw. And I've been hearing a lot of people talk about this book. It's been on a lot of people's TBRs, and then a lot of booktubers have really enjoyed it. So this is also on my October TBR, just to give a little heads up. Then the next book I got from Book Outlet is Frostline by Linda Howard and Linda Jones. Apparently, I thought this was a series. It's just a one book, one shot, which is fine. I'm just so used to paranormal books being ongoing. Then the next one I found, which was kind of just a cart filler, because I end up getting a coupon, so I had to find another book to fill the spot. And since I was mainly looking for paranormal romance books, I just didn't want to grab any willy-nilly, but I ended up doing that. And I got The Beautiful Ones by Sylvia Moreno Garcia. And it sounded really cool. The cover's also really pretty. So I'm really interested in reading this. We'll see if I like it. Alright, and then the last one from Book Outlet, not of the haul, but of Book Outlet, is Sherilyn Kenyon Dragonsworn. This was the only one I was missing from her older books from her series, and then I also got Steigen, it's up there. But yeah, this is the last one I was missing from all her books except for, I think, Love Bites, which they did not have on Book Outlet. Alright, so that's all my Book Outlet books. I will now move on to my thrift store books since that pile is a little smaller. So those are, I found these at my thrift store. They usually intend to have really good YA there for really cheap. So like some of these are all basically gone for like $3. So this one is called The Great Hunt. I think this is another Beauty and the Beast retelling. It is by Wendy Higgins. If you have read this, let me know if it's any good. It sounded really interesting. And I think Haley in Bookland has it. I don't know if she's read it, but the cover intrigued me, and I believe it is a Beauty and the Beast retelling. The next one I found at my thrift store is Demon Derby by Carrie Harris. I got this one also for $3. I've never heard of this book. It sounded really interesting. I believe it is a contemporary about a girl that has defeated cancer, and she joins a roller derby team, and it's just her not letting cancer take over her life. So it sounded really interesting. The next book I found at my thrift store is Before She Ignites. I'm not too terribly sure what this is about, but I did find it for like $3 at my thrift store, and I thought, why not? Well, I'll just give it a try. So then the next book I found that just came out this year, I believe, is The Diminished. This is one of my highly anticipated books by Caitlin Sage Patterson. I believe this is another fantasy kingdom story that I don't remember the specifics, but I'd rather go into it blind than spoil everything. So yeah, I was really excited to find this one. And then the last book I found at my thrift store was Winter. This was the only book of the actual series I was missing from the Lunar Chronicles. It doesn't match my other copies, but if it's a hardback for $4, what can you say? Then it'll be fine. That doesn't bother me. Okay, so then the next group of books I'm going to do is stuff from my book off, which I pretty much got all these books here for $1 a piece. So I'm going to try and go through it pretty quickly. Alright, so to continue from the Ilona Andrews series, because I knew I was getting the first one from Book Outlet, I found Magic Bleeds, Magic Strikes, and Magic Burns. Now, I'm not sure if they're 2, 3, and 4 or 2, 3, 5, but I know it's 2, 3, and something. Then the next group I found at my Book Outlet, Book Off, is Kathy Loves Fangs for the Memories, and then Kathy Loves Fangs But No Fangs, and then I only Have Fangs for You. So this is a Kathy Love series. I have it in my bag of how many books are in the series of all these books. I went and did a whole bunch of research and just mapped it all out, but these are the only 3 that I found. I found for $1 a piece. The next ones that I was really excited to find were the Carrie Arthur Full Moon Rising series. So I have Full Moon Rising, Tempting Evil, Embraced by Darkness, and Kissing Sin. And these I was excited because the spines are all still intact, they're not cracked, and for $1 a piece, I call that a win. So then the next couple books I found Venom and Vanilla by Shannon Mayer. I believe this is a snake lycanthrope kind of thing, or snake changeling. It sounded really interesting, and it sounded like it'd be a fun read. The next one I found is a vampire book, which is Tall, Dark, and Dead. Nobody's Perfect by Tate Holloway. Vampire one. Found Maggie Shane's Twilight Begins. This is more of an Elementus and Witch, I believe. This is book 1 and 2, so it's it's a vampire, I'm sorry. It has Twilight Fantasies and Twilight Memories in it. Good for $1. I then found a whole bunch of one-offs. Wicked Pleasures by Nina Bangs. Pamela Palmer, A Blood Seduction. Bitten and Smitten by Michelle Rowan. Gizmo. And then Lolina Singh by Slave to Sensation. Easy. And then I found Jennifer Pardon, Once Bitten, Twice Shy. And then another one, Bites the Dust. I also found books 1 through 3 of The Vampire Kisses. Vampires in Coffins. Or Kissing Coffins. And then Vampireville. It's like really short, sweet, simple. The next ones I found Love Without Blood by Raz Steele. Dark Time by Mortal Path by Dakota Banks. And then Kitty and the Midnight Hour by Carrie Vaughn. Then I found 2 books by the same author, Demon Fire by Kate Douglas, and then Hellfire by Kate Douglas. Alright, and the next pile I got from the bookstore was Thea Harrison, Dragonbound. Then Marjorie M. Lee, Darkness Calls. This one is Karen Chase, Death's Mistress. And then Caitlin Kittredge, Nightlife. I found, I've already said that one. I think I said this one, I'm not too sure. This was also from my book outlet, Beyond the Rain. This might have been from when I did my first recording and Gizmo decided to get in the way. But this is also paranormal romance. Then I found The Dangerous Book for Demon Slayers. I believe this is book 2. And then The Tale of Two Demon Slayers, which is book 3. I did not find book 1. I made a goof and bought them anyways. This is Julie Kenner's The Good Ghouls Guide to Getting Even. This sounded just like a really simple read. It's also very short, so I was like, I'll just try it. V.C. Andrews. I'm in a very big V.C. Andrews kick. I found House of Secrets, which is another series of hers. I really liked her The Orphan series, and then I really liked her Flowers in the Attic, which I have all up there. So then this is a newer series by her. I then found Charmed. I'm a really big fan of Charmed. I know that they're getting a reboot. I'm not too sure how I feel about that, but I'll give it a chance. So then I found Lucky Be a Lady. And then I found another little novellas of different various authors were Sherilyn Kenyon again, called Stroke of Midnight. And then I also found When Beauty Tamed the Beast, which is another Beauty and the Beast retelling, but more an adult format. And also, the spine is not broken. Love it. The last pile of books I found at Book Off are First Grave on the Right by Dardania Jones. This is a Reaper book. And then I got the Fever series by Carrie Marie Moning. I'm forgetting the book. I forget its first name. But I did find 2, 3, and 4 for $1 a piece. So I found Dream Fever, Fae Fever, and Blood Fever. Really good series. I'm just blanking on the first book's name right now. I can just look right here probably. It is... Why aren't you telling me? Dark Fever. That's the name of the first one. It's Dark Fever. Really good. Almost finished with it. If you get a chance to find it, definitely read it. Alright, so that is all from my Book Off. Now I'm going to go into books I bought from my work, and then books I received from my work, and then a bunch of books I got from my friend. So then books I bought at work, I bought the new short story collection, Unbroken, about disabled teens. I'm currently reading it, that's why I just have the dust jacket right now. But I just love the cover art. It's just so pretty. The next thing I bought at Barnes & Noble's is for a buddy read I'm doing with my friend. We're gonna it's her pick, but she seemed interesting in this. We just haven't solidified if we're reading it. Is Wrong in All the Right Ways by Tiffany Brownlee. I believe it is sister possibly having feelings for her brother, if I'm remembering correctly. Not 100% sure, but it sounded really interesting. And I just love this cover. Alright, the next book that I bought is Autobiography by Christina Lauren. It finally came out in paperback, so I'm like, I'll try it. The next one I bought, basically for Halloween, is The Merciless. I've been eyeing this for quite some time, and it's a floppy paperback, so I'm really excited to read it this Halloween season. Okay, so then the books that I received from work are... I got an arc of Dear Evan Hansen by Val Emmett with Stephen Levinson, Benj Pasek, and Justin Paul. I have heard a few songs from the play. I am currently listening to the play to hear more about it before I start reading to get the gist of it. I just know it is a very popular play. The next arc I got from work is Lauren Oliver's Broken Things. This comes out in October 18th, and this, the Dear Evans one, it comes out 10/18 as well. So I got both of these from work. The next one I got from work recently was The Good Demon by Jimmy Kajolius. I know this one's already out. This comes out this month, last month in September. Then the next one I have is Vita Nostra by Marina and Sergei Dyachenko, I believe. And this one comes out November 2018. This one's more of historical fiction, I believe, with maybe a tad of magical realism. It sounded really interesting, so I thought I'd give it a try. Alright, so those are all the arcs I got last month. So now, the pile before my friend's purchase, I just remembered I had more library books, so I found also One Lucky Vampire by Lindsay Sands. I'm missing a couple more volumes of her vampire series, so I'm just trying to collect them so I can finish the series. I found Little and Lion for $1. I wasn't too sure if I wanted to pick it up at full price, so I did wait and I found it for $1, so I'm glad I went. And it's also a Book of the Month copy. The next one I found at my library sale was Slammed by Colleen Hoover. I have a few other Colleen Hoover books and I haven't read any of them yet, but I am collecting them slowly just so I can start reading them. And then the last book I got from my library sale was Joe Hill, Horns. I did see the movie of this, so I am interested to see how the movie and the book differ. Okay, last group of books, I swear. So the next group of books are books I got from my friend at work. She was giving me all her paranormal romance and a bunch of old arcs that she just didn't want anymore. So I want to start with the arcs. The first one I have is Jennifer Donnelly's Revolution, and I believe this is a time thing where like she was once this old Victorian person and it's her in the future and they somehow co-mix. It's very big, it's very floppy, so I'm anxious to start this one. The next one I found, I've been really liking Chris Collifer's middle grade series, and she gave me Stranger Than Fiction. It's a nice, it comes in this like little box, and then there's the arc. It was really cool. The next one also has a box, is, what's your name? Trial by Fire by Josephine Angelini. It's really pretty. Then she gave me The Hazelwood by Melissa Albert. This is another one that I'm really looking forward to reading. It's just so pretty. Then I got this one mainly from my best friend. I think she's gonna like it. I don't know. Starters by Lisa Price. I haven't really heard anything. Super shiny cover. But it's an interesting cover, and I don't know if it's just... If any of you have read it, let me know if it's any good. And then the next one is The Arc of the One Memory of Flora Banks by Emily Barr. I've been eyeing this for a long time, just never took the gumption to buy it, but now I have the arc. Okay, last group of books. These are all the paranormal romance that she gave me. So I have a bunch of Angela Knight. So I have Angela Knight Jane's Warlord, Master of the Swords, Master of Fire, and Master of Smoke. I have the first one in my bedroom. It's downstairs. The next group of books is all by Kresley Cole. It's a nice little stack. So then Cressley Cole's Wicked Deeds of the Winter's Night, Kiss of the Demon King, Dark Needs at Night's Edge, Dark Desires After Dusk, A Hunger Like No Other, No Rest for the Wicked, Deep Kiss of Winter, Pleasures of a Dark Prince, Demon from the Dark, and finally, Demon of the Dark Warrior. Alright guys, so that is my entire book haul. Thank you for sitting through this. If you did, if you've read any of these series, please let me know what you thought. I will once again try and leave my links down below. And I hope we can be friends and we can have some conversations. Have a great day. Bye.